YouTube. Hey, beauties. I know nobody's watching yet. Oh, hold on a second. God, I have not been on here in so long. I don't know if you guys can see my chat. Let me know if you do. Sorry, I'm going to try and bring up chat on my phone because it never works on the channel. Yeah, see, it doesn't work, but that's okay. I can see the live chat on my phone. Hey, Victoria. Hey, Jessica. How are you guys doing? Okay, so I'm going to silence my phone, but if I look down, it's just because I'm looking at the comments. How's your Sunday night going? Do you guys have to work tomorrow, or do you have tomorrow off? So I wanted to come on and I wanted to do a live stream just to like check in with you guys, even though I just did a video earlier today. But I also wanted, I know I had, I'm doing the giveaway and I'm definitely still doing it, but just going to let you guys know that I'm going to announce the winners. I picked 2 winners and I'm going to announce the winners tomorrow. So it'll probably be earlier in the day. I'm not going to make you wait till, you know, late at night or anything like that. But I just was going to do a second video. I just didn't want to do it today because I already did a video today. So I'm going to announce that tomorrow. And yeah, just come on and chat with you guys and see what everybody's up to. Oh my gosh, with my neck. So it's still like, I think it's the lighting makes it look a lot lighter. It's actually like pretty dark in person. I'm going to start, I need to buy some vitamin E or something. If you guys know of anything that's supposed to help with scars, let me know. Because it's healed now, so I can actually start using stuff. I just haven't used literally anything. I don't even put like moisturizer or anything on my neck yet. I don't know. It's just, it's actually, I don't know. I just hate the feeling of like the scar. I just get creeped out by stuff like that. I'm weird. Hi, Linda. It's good. Hope your Sunday is going well. Also, so my Sunday was pretty eventful. Kevin called a couple times today and I was talking to him and he's like, what have you been doing? And he's been watching like the playoffs and the Patriots won. So he's excited because he's a Patriots fan. And I hung up like the pictures that I have behind me. I hung that up. It looks crooked. It's not. It's like the way that the laptop is or something. But and then I hung up our wedding picture in my bedroom. I still have a bunch more stuff to hang up on the walls, but I kind of like want to buy some new stuff as well. Just because the stuff that I've had for a really long time. And yeah, it's just kind of like, you know, you outgrow some stuff sometimes. And I don't know, I just feel like I need something new to differentiate like this new place that I'm living at from like where I lived last time. Doing good, doing good. So yeah, everything is going good. We're still kind of waiting. We are definitely waiting around for court stuff. March 20th well, actually March 20 or January, sorry. January 26th is the next big court date for us. I mean, it's nothing where like we're actually going to be in court, but they have what's called a supplemental brief, and it's pretty much our argument and the prosecutor's argument on why, you know, Kevin shouldn't be resentenced. Like that's the whole reason we're in the Supreme Court. So that is actually due on the 26th, which I think it's not that far away. So it's actually a week from this coming Friday. So once those are submitted, then the Supreme Court justices, they can actually decide once they're submitted to make a decision then, or they can wait until March 20th, which is when our oral argument is. So that's happening. And this week on Thursday at 8:30 in the morning, I have a meeting with the University of Seattle School of Law because 2 of their directors are actually working on his case. And we're going to just like talk about, the argument and like, just the process, like what they've been working on and like what's going to happen and everything like that. So it's pretty exciting. I'm excited. Like we have a meeting with, these lawyers that I've never talked to or I've never met before. So Kevin's going to call in. So he'll be on the phone and then his mom's going to call in. And so we'll have like a phone meeting and I'll be like the only one in person, but it'll be cool. It should be fun. Hey, Michelle, what are you doing? Are you getting ready to go to work? I've seen a video where you talk about your husband's time. Mine has been away for 6 years, and I feel at times I can't take it. And he still is 13. So, Jessica, I try to stay positive, but again, like I haven't been with Kevin the whole time. We met while he's been incarcerated. So, God, if I did, I don't know where I would be, honestly, like in this journey, if I had been with him like the whole 15 years. I'm glad that we weren't, just because I knew like where he was 15 years ago emotionally, just like as a person, like where he was in his life and where I was 15 years ago is not like I was nowhere near ready to like be in a committed relationship, a marriage, or to be with somebody that was incarcerated. 15 years ago, I was what, 23, 22, 23. I was 23 years old. At 23 years old, I was like totally into the partying scene. I was not about like being in a committed relationship. I was just like living my life and like not really caring about anybody. I was pretty selfish at that point in my life. Hey, Rachel. It's your day off. Awesome. I get tomorrow off too because it's a holiday. So it's cool because where I work at, we go off of like the court. Like whenever they have holidays, we kind of have holidays. Whenever they work, we pretty much work. So it's kind of cool that way. But yeah, Tuesday is my payday. And so Tuesday I work, Wednesday I work, and then Thursday I have that meeting in the morning. Well, I don't know why I'm pointing over there. I have the meeting in the morning with the lawyers, and then I have orientation for drug court. Not for me, but for, my work. And they're going to like show me like, the whole process on their end of things. And so that'll be really, I'm excited. I was going to say fun, but it's not, I don't know. It sounds weird. Like when I say drug court is fun. But I'm excited to do that. And then I have a group that night, and then Friday is Friday, and then it's the weekend. But no, I definitely like, I try to stay positive as I can. Kevin has, God, when we got together, it's crazy, like when I look back at it, right? Because in May, it'll be 4 years that like we started talking. And when I look back at it, I'm like, I remember exactly like going on this pen pal site and like looking at, the different profiles. And like, I just came across I laughed at what he was saying. And I thought he had a cute picture. I thought he looked like way shorter in his picture than he is in real life. He's 6'4". And I thought he was like 5'6" or something like that. So he thinks it's hilarious. And I think it's super funny. But I don't know. I just remember like I can look back on that moment. I remember exactly like writing him the first time and like deciding to write him because it tells like how long they have left, like when their release date is. And I knew writing him that his release date was 2031. I knew that the earliest release date for him was 2029. Like that's a long time. And I still chose to do it. Hey, Nikki. Do I work weekends? No. I have Saturdays and Sundays off. All the time. All the time. Summer, Saturdays and Sundays off, which I got lucky. I don't know. Sometimes I've worked jobs in the past, like call centers, where I've had like split days off during the middle of the week or like Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, Monday. I actually liked it because it gives you one day to like schedule, go to doctor's appointments and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. On weekends off is nice too, because then we can go on like a little mini vacation or whatever, and it's cool too. But I don't know, just going back to like the time that he has left, like he had left at that time, 2014, 24, 25 to 6, 27, 28, 29. He had 15 years left when I first wrote him, minimum of 15 years. His maximum was 17 years. 17 years. Like I was willing, like I was totally okay with the fact that he had 17 years. no wonder his mom like looked at me like I was crazy when I first met her. She's like, "Are you sure that you could wait that long? Like it's a long time." And I was like, "Oh yeah, like no problem. No problem at all." Okay, I know. That's when I wrote you and you on YouTube earlier, Nikki. I wrote Nikki instead of Nicole because I was like, "Wait a second, like I've always known her as Nikki." 17 years is a long time. So 16, 15. So 14 years would be the maximum he has now, right? 2028, 29, 30, 31, or 13. Like yeah, like 13 years. I think 13 years at the maximum and 11 years minimum. But I don't ever talk about like that time anymore because of all the court stuff. Like he got his, he went through the appellate court, he got his sentence overturned. And so he told me technically like he doesn't even have a sentence because they decided to overturn his sentence. So even though it says that he does, like if you look up his name and stuff, let me turn this music down. Even though it says he does, he really doesn't. Like his sentence was overturned, so he doesn't technically have a sentence. But I think like what's kept me so positive is the fact that we have gone through the court process. We're currently going through the court process. That his lawyer is so positive about everything, and that there's multiple lawyers that are working on it, and it's like seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. I guess that's a good way to put it. Hey, Sherelle. Right? I am so busy. Look at this, you guys. Okay, so I'm taking 3 classes this quarter. So this is, for those of you guys that are super close with me, I took a quiz last night and it was freaking the first quiz of the quarter and it was the hardest. I got a 24 out of, I got a B on it. But so this is uppers, downers, all rounders. This is just one book for one class. And then, oh my God, you guys. This is my psych. So I'm taking theories of personality, and this is the book for it. It's like 250 pages or something. Nope, 350. But it also has an access code, which means that there's even more stuff. So this instructor does one test every week for his lectures and one test every week for like out of the book. So that's going to be crazy. And I'm going to do a lot of studying tomorrow, actually, because I didn't really do much homework today at all. Like I did 0 homework. And then my last class that I'm doing is like assessments dealing with co-occurring disorders. And this is probably going to be like not the easiest class, but like the class that has the least amount of work. So, and this book is pretty thick too. But this I feel like I'm going to get the most out of for my work because I'm working as a counselor right now. So this is definitely going to help me with assessments and stuff like that. So I am excited about that. Those books are kind of, you know, I don't know, intimidating. Hey, Family Diary. Oh my gosh, how are you doing? I haven't talked to you in a while. You should do some more videos. Oh, wow. You're so lucky you only have 6 months left. So happy after 4 years of me knowing him that he'll be home. Yeah, you guys have been about together as long as Kevin and I have. So I'm hoping that Kevin only has like 4 or 6 months left. We think that he's probably going to get resentenced in like this summer sometime. I'm thinking like maybe July-ish. I've been saying July for like the longest time. So I think I have a good feeling it's going to be July. And hopefully like that would mean he would be home like shortly after. But we'll see what happens with that. Reality movie or show. So you know how they just came out with that show on WeTV, the Prison Wife show? I forgot. I don't remember the name of it. He knows the name of it. I told him like once and he remembers the name of it. It's like Love After Lockup or something like that. Anyway, they had contacted me like several times to be on that show. And I told Kevin about it when they first contacted me. And like, he was just immediately like, nope, we're not doing that. He's like, I know what they're going to do. He's like, it's on a women's television channel. He's like, they're going to take that story. They're going to twist it like my crime, like how we met, everything. He's like, they'll twist it and they'll make it into like a drama, like trash reality TV series. And if you guys have watched the first episode, like you can tell from that first show that that's exactly like what they're going to do. It would be nice if like they had a biography on Prison Wives that like actually showed how we are, you know what I mean? Like without having all that drama there. But then again, like it makes you wonder, like, would people even watch anything like that if there wasn't any drama? Because people nowadays are so obsessed with drama. Hey, Christy. This is all new to me. We have 4 years left. So 4 years isn't too bad, depending on how you're dealing with it. If you're keeping busy with school, work, kids, any of those things, you know, keep you busy during the day. It will make time go by way quicker than if you're just literally doing nothing, but like looking at the clock, you know what I mean? But if you have any questions, let me know. Post it here in the chat because there's plenty of women on the chat that have gone through, you know, 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. Like there's a lot of women that have gone through a lot of different times. So, and everybody has different experiences too. Like, you know, you guys might have totally different experiences with your time than I have, you know, with the time that I've done with Kevin. So there's a lot of people that have met while incarcerated, but then there's people that were together like Christy before they were together before, and you know, and then they had to deal with court and them going to prison and what and all of that, you know, so it just depends. Co-occurring disorders, yeah, I'm super excited. That's like the one class that I'm the most excited about. Well, I'm excited about my personality theories of personality too, because it's going to talk about like personality disorders, schizophrenia, and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting. It's just a lot when you're working full time and you're having to like do all of this reading and take full time. I'm taking 13 credits, so you know what I mean? Like, but it's definitely gonna make time go by fast. Oh, you're taking psychology? Right on. Let me know, Nicole. I keep saying Nicole because that's what your your profile name says, Nikki. Let me know what classes you're taking. I've taken intro to psychology, abnormal psychology, lifespan psychology. So this will be like my fourth psychology class. But Summer, who's also in, I think Summer's watching right now, but she's also in the support group. And that's her major too, is psychology. So it's fun. Oh, you're welcome, Sherelle. I always see your messages whenever I like look at comments on the videos. I always see your messages, and I always recognize you by your last name. I don't know why, but every time I see Briscoe, I'm like, oh, there's Sherelle. You always leave so much like there's some people that leave negative comments, you know, on YouTube, a lot of negative comments, but you always leave very positive comments on it. And you're very appreciative of the videos and everything. And I really appreciate that a lot. Hey, Courtney. Yep. Love After Lockup. That was the name of it. I've seen a biography show on Netflix on the Avery case. Oh, is that the case that it was on Netflix? Making of a Murder, is that what it is? Is that the name of it? Making of a Murder, where it was like the uncle and the nephew, right? And the nephew is actually going back to court now, they're trying to get him out because they said like the police interrogated him for hours and hours to the point where like he admitted to something that he didn't do. I think that's the same case that you're talking about. I wouldn't want to be on a TV show. My prison pen pal was a TV show after we started writing, and it did make her look really bad. Sorry, I had to reread your comment. My prison pen pal was on a TV show after we started writing, and it made her. Yeah, see, and so Kevin, it's no secret, like he's in for a murder charge, a second-degree murder. And I know any sort of charge, like a violent crime, whether it's armed robbery, murder, assault, anything like that, that's going to be on television, they're totally just going to like take that and like twist it and turn it, you know, any way that they can. I did watch the first episode of that. Love After Lockup or whatever it's called. And the woman that lives in Utah, and she was having her bridal shower, but she didn't tell anybody but one of her friends, where her fiance was and stuff. Like she ran out of there crying because they're Mormon and they were judging her. You know what I mean? Like that's bad. Like if somebody's that religious and they're judging you, like how is everybody else in life, going to treat you? Luckily, for me personally, like I haven't dealt with a lot of judgment. I've had a few friends, like maybe a handful of friends, if that, from like high school and like from a long time ago that have made comments like early on, like 3 years ago. And when I told my dad that we got married, I waited until after we got married and then I called my dad and told him. And my dad was very like bothered by it. It took him about a year to like accept the fact that I married Kevin and he is where he is and, the whole situation. But I feel after 3 years plus of dealing with it, and he may watch this later, because I know he said he's gotten on my YouTube and watched some of the videos. I feel like he's not like, oh my God, I love Kevin. Like he's not like that at all. But he shows interest in it when I talk to him. He's like, how's court going? How's everything? How's Kevin? Like, that kind of thing, which it's like a huge step in a better direction, than it was when we first got married. So I appreciate that he's gotten to that point a lot. And I can't wait for him eventually, when Kevin gets out, like to eventually like meet my dad and meet that side of my family. Because he hasn't met my brother, he hasn't met my dad, he hasn't met my dad's wife, he hasn't met like any of my step siblings. He hasn't met my cousins. He hasn't met anybody on that side of the family. Hey, Caitlin. Sorry, I might be slow reading these comments, you guys. I think Real Prison Wives and Girlfriends would watch it at least. That's true, Rachel. And there's a lot of prison wives and girlfriends out there. If you look at the Facebook support groups, if you just type in prison wives and it pulls up like a list, right, of all the different groups, support groups that are on Facebook. You take prison pen pal sites, you take the prison wife, prison girlfriend, um, family members of inmates, you take all of those, you look at, how many members are in each group and you add those up, there's thousands, you guys, like thousands upon thousands upon thousands. And that just shows you how many people are incarcerated. And that's sad. That's totally sad. My boyfriend had 10 years left in the feds, looking for support. We're both still so young. Yeah, Haley, we're in the States, so I can't speak on about the feds a lot. I know my friend Josie, her boyfriend is in the feds, and she's told me, like with phone calls, you get 300 minutes a month. Like she's explained like a lot of it to me. And it also depends on where they're at. I know in the feds, they like shipping them around like from one state to another. She's gotten lucky because her boyfriend is, in a camp now, which is really cool. She said like when she goes to visit him, it's a lot more laid back. It's not as, strict with everything. So yeah, it just depends. But 10 years is definitely a long time. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I would just say don't stop your life just because he's in prison. And if you decide to stay with him for 10 years, then, I guess you have to come to terms with that, in your own way. Like, are you going to go to school? I would suggest doing things that are going to affect you positively by the time he gets out. Like I always say, like health, like I lost almost 50 pounds, about 50 pounds. I would say credit, because I know we planned on buying a house one day. So I've worked on my credit and I worked on his credit, but I've filed bankruptcy and my credit is like way better than it now than it was like a year ago. I would say savings, like try and save up as much money as you can in that time. I would say work on your relationship. Communication obviously is key. There's just so much, that you want to do if you plan on being together for that long and if he has that much time. And then also even like if there's a chance for you to file appeals or resentencing or anything like that, maybe like look into his case, work on his case, talk to some lawyers, see if there's, any opportunity for you guys to get his sentence lowered. And that's like the first thing that I did when Kevin and I got together is we like started talking to lawyers and tried to figure out if it was better for him to get a commutation, resentencing, appeal, like, whatever. And that was the first thing we did. And I'm glad that we did it when we did, because it took us like 2.5 years to even file it. And then once we filed it, which was May of 2016, it's almost been 2 years. It's like a year and a half, right? Over a year and a half since we filed it, gone to court. We're still going through the court process. So it's a long process. It's going to be like probably like 5 years by the time he gets out, just from like starting the court stuff. I'm always here if anybody needs to talk or has any questions. Join our group as well. Lots of good support there. Yeah, and I was just going to mention to anybody that's watching, I know there's 13 people right now, but we do have a support group. It's on Facebook. It's called Prison Wives Locked Down in Love. I'm working on changing the YouTube banner because it says the name of the old group on there. And that can be confusing for some people. And I try to mention it in the videos, the name of the new group, because we've been a group, I think, for like about a month now. So it's been a little while. But YouTube can be confusing, especially if you're not, like a graphic designer. And I'm not. Sorry, my hair is all messed up. But yeah, definitely like go on Facebook, search for that group. We just have to verify, that you are like a prison girlfriend, prison wife. And we ask for like a piece of mail that shows the stamp that the jail or prison puts on it, and you can cross off your personal information. Or if you have a picture from visiting, if you've already visited, you could send us the picture so we can, see obviously that you're a prison wife. Or if you have JPay or Core Links and you get the emails, we can just, you can snap a picture of that. There's various ways that we can verify that. So it's not really hard. 300 minutes in feds. Yes. Yeah, it's 300 minutes. I know, because Josie she had it down like pat. She'd be like, okay, we can talk 10 minutes a day for so many days. And then we can talk 6 minutes a day for so many days. And then we can talk 2 minutes a day for like so many days. Like she was like, and she might be watching this, but she was like, she had it like perfected, like with the phone calls. Jason has been to Colorado, Arizona, and Alaska. Wow. Yeah, see, Kevin, when they did, I know he told me this, when they did have out-of-state prisons for Washington, like the private prisons, he had a lot of friends that went out of state because they went to Arizona. They went to, I want to say it was like Michigan or Minnesota or something like that. And and then they were in Colorado. But I guess there was a huge riot in Colorado. They like set it on the prison on fire, and so they were never allowed back to Colorado. And I think that was it. I don't know if there were any in California. I don't think there were any in California. But when they did that, he was in IMU. He was in IMU for like long term, so he missed out on that opportunity. My fiance has 2 years left, feds, and now looking at possible 10 years in state to do. Oh, wow, Kim. How many years has he done in the feds? I know there's a few people, and we have one person in our group, Brianna. She is dealing with that, but they're just going through like the sentencing process right now. But they were talking at like 10 state, 10 feds. But she doesn't know if they're going to like just do the state instead of like doing state and feds, or do one and not the other. But yeah, that would definitely be nerve-wracking. You are so welcome, Sue. Awesome. Yeah. Anybody that is going to fight, is going to try for an appeal, is going to try for resentencing, is going to try for commutation or a pardon or clemency or whatever, like, if you have any questions just about like starting the process, because I don't have my law degree. I don't know everything that there is to know about appeals and, all of these different options, but I know what I went through. And what my mother-in-law told me that she went through when she, went through all these appeals. I've got boxes of Kevin's paperwork. Like, you guys, it's crazy if I showed you how much paperwork he has just from appeals. It's insane. It's sad. It's like I have this massive bin and it's just full of paperwork, just packets and packets and packets of paperwork. I have, and it makes me emotional talking about it, but I went through one bin and it was from the trial and it made me cry because for him, obviously, but also for his mom, because she went through all of that alone, you know, it was just her and him. Like they went through it alone. And I went through like just a couple packets, just different interviews with different people and just going through it, just like the lies and just like the misinformation that was given and the way that, you know, they treated them and stuff like that is crazy. It's really emotional. You know, if I know a lot of you guys probably have gone through the trial and everything with them, but those that are MWI, meant while incarcerated, and haven't, it really like opened my eyes to see like the whole other side of his case and like what they went through going through the trial. I couldn't imagine like going through that trial with him like at that time if we were together. Like I feel like it almost probably would have broke me or something like that. And it makes me wonder like how Kevin is so positive. Because if you guys talk to Kevin, you would just be like, what is wrong with this guy? He's been in for 15 years. He is the most optimistic, positive person that like I have ever met in my life. And he's been in prison for 15 years. And he probably spent 5 of those years in IMU. It's super crazy. I don't have a Facebook and I'm a guy, but I do have lots of letters with mailed from a state correctional institute stamp. And I have JPay too. I probably wouldn't fit in, but I appreciate your videos. Oh, right on, Eek. Not a problem. Well, I know you said you don't have Facebook. If you had Facebook, then we would invite you to join our support group. But since you don't, I guess that's not an issue. But I will always make videos. So if you ever want to, you know, chat on here, let me know. If you ever have questions about anything like that, I know you said you're getting ready to start dealing with phone calls and that sort of thing. And budgeting is a big thing, I think, when you start, you know, taking phone calls. I think setting boundaries is a big deal. Even with visits, I remember because Kevin got so used to me visiting every week. And when there was a moment like where I wouldn't show up for visiting, he would get upset. And I had to like remind him, like, hey, you're spoiled. You get visits like multiple times a week. Most people don't have this opportunity. Like, you know, I spend $40 every time I go to visit on food. You are for sure going to have a visit every week. Like, so if I'm late 1 week or if I don't show up for a good reason, like don't be mad. Like think about like where I'm coming from. So anyway, when it comes to things like that, oh, and that's him. So he's gonna call back in a second, you guys. So I'm gonna end this now. Peace out. I love you guys. Comment below if you want, if you have questions or anything. And I don't know actually if you can comment on the live feeds or not. But if you guys like the live feeds, let me know below. And I'll do more of them. I used to do a lot of them. I haven't done them in a really long time. So, all right, I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to talk to Kevin for 20 minutes and I will talk to you guys later and I'll announce the winners of the giveaway tomorrow. All right, bye.